Hi everyone, Forrest A. Jr. here. Today on Rolling Tape, we have Kathie, Fong, Yoneda, and Marx, Pyle. They'll be talking about the web event, Virtually Everything Story. This is a several-day event where you can watch live workshops. Let's roll tape.
This episode brought to you by Spoof Dance Film Festival. Make parody commercials and bring the funny.
Welcome to the show, Kathie and Marx.
Thanks for having us on.
You're welcome. It's great to have you guys. This is something new for us to have three guests, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Now, you guys are hosting a workshop for the Virtually Everything Story conference. Can you guys talk about that?
Well, it's the brainchild of two gals from the United Kingdom, and they really wanted to be able to kind of put together something that hadn't been done before. They love storytelling, and storytelling now, of course, is being, it's the head of, it's sort of like the masthead for branding. All the major corporations are doing it. You'll notice even commercials are coming out like as storytelling. But what is storytelling and how can it be used in a lot of different ways? It's not just film or television or novels. And so I am very interested in web series, and it turns out that Marx and I both are MWP writers, and we both have a love of web series, and so they put the two of us together, so that's why we're here.
Okay, Marx, tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So back in 2007, I was in film school in Vancouver Film School, and I had been writing for different entertainment websites online, and I had heard a little bit about web series, but I really didn't know a whole lot about them yet, because that's around the time like the Guild and a few things were coming out. And I landed an interview with Damien Kindler, who is a writer-producer at the time best known for Stargate SG-1. Later, at the time, he was creating a web series called Sanctuary. And I met with him, talked to him about his web series, about his views about web series and the possibilities for them. I got really excited and motivated by it. And from then on, I just started. I always was following web series, interviewing web series creators. I wanted to make a web series myself when I could after film school. And eventually, after a few films, that's what I did. I worked on some web series, stayed very close to that community, and I wrote a book called Television on the Wild Wild Web from MWP, and that was after interviewing like over 90 web series creators, after working on a few of my own and or for other people. And I'm just really passionate about that format. That's very fresh and new opportunity for independent creators.
Let's get to the meat of the matter here. What is the Virtually Everything Story? Tell me what it is and how it works.
It's, let's see, it's going to be held June 15th through the 24th, and they will show 3 workshops each day in that time period of 10, 12, and 2 o'clock. That's, I believe it's Pacific time, because I think a majority of the writers or the authors are on the West Coast. So each one of those sessions is going to be totally different from one another. They're very, very individual, and they cover all different forms of storytelling. We have Chris Vogler, who will be talking about transformation. Pamela J. Smith will be talking about the new mythology. We'll have other people who will be talking about things like, do you need an agent or not? What Carol Kirshner, I believe, is talking about what you need to know to break into television. So there's a lot of different areas of storytelling where people are going to give you some really valuable information. And hopefully, what's great about this, I love this part about it, is if you can't, for some reason, be able to tune in at that particular time, they are going to record them all, and then all you have to do is just use your registration code and go in within the next 30 days after, and you can plug in and listen to any of the other series that you might have missed. So I think it's kind of a cool thing to do.
Okay, and this is totally web-based, correct?
Yes. It's virtual.
It's virtual. All right. I just want people to understand that this is something, no matter where you live in the world, using technology. You can be anywhere in the world and watch these. For instance, I'm in Massachusetts. Kathie is in California. Marx, I don't even know where you're at.
Undisclosed location.
Okay, he's in an undisclosed location. Security told him not to tell. You guys are talking mostly about web series. Can we get a little teaser of what you guys will be discussing, without giving away anything?
Go ahead, Mark. You go ahead.
Sure. Well, I think I'm going to talk about what is a web series and some of the different kinds that are out there, because there is a lot of subgenres. I'm also going to talk about goals and about setting those goals and what and how you can use that goal to help shape your direction for your web series. And I also talk about some of the differences between writing for a web series versus like a television series, writing that short form or these other genres that aren't on traditional TV.
Okay, and Kathie, a little teaser about what we can
Well,
learn.
I'm going to cover things that have to do with now that I've got this web series going, what am I going to do with it, and how can I get people to notice it? So I'll talk a little bit about crowdfunding. Now, I'm not going to get into a lot of detail because there is one gal, I believe, who's going to be talking about crowdfunding during the conference. But for web series, there are some of the crowdfunding sites that are better for web series than others. So that's something that I'll be discussing. I'll also be giving you guys some pitching hints and suggestions, because as most of you who have probably gone to any crowdfunding site, you've got about 2 or 3 minutes, to kind of convince people, I've got a project that's worthwhile and I'd love to have you guys donate it towards it. So that's probably the main emphasis that I'll have. And I will also talk a little bit about WebFests and how they came about and how they can actually help your series become more global.
Is this kind of a new concept, having all these conferences? I've never heard of it myself, but having a web-based conference like this?
This is this is the first one that I know of. For story. I believe they've had conferences, medical conferences, I know a lot of times, those have been done this way. But I know in terms of story, this is the first one that I have ever heard of, and I'm pretty well plugged into all the story-based things.
Okay, so you can watch some of these live, and some of but they'll all be taped, and you can kind of reference back to them.
Exactly.
Do you know if they're all downloadable, or is it you've got the 1 month to watch them, or can you save them?
30 days. 30 days you have to watch.
Okay. All right.
And the reason why they have to do that, of course, is just so that people won't take away your property.
Right.
And also right now, for some of the guests, there's like pre-interviews that they've done with some of us, so you can go and watch those up till June 14th.
And one last plug for the throw out the dates for the Virtually Everything Story event.
It's June 15th through the 24th, and there will be for the time blocks there'll be 10 a.m., noon, and 2 p.m. each day running through the 24th.
All right.
And after that, if there are some that you haven't seen, then you can go use your registration code and you can look at the recorded workshops.
Okay. Thank you, Kathie. Thank you for joining me. And Mark, thank you. I said Mark. I mean Marx. See, now I'm goofing it up. I made it through like 10 minutes and I goof up like that. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.